Hey YouTube, so this video will be a products review over the different things that I have used and maybe just a couple extra things. So I'm going to try and give a good explanation of how to use these things, and also, hope I'm in frame, and also a review of them. So anyway, for the things that I don't talk much about, it's because it's not necessary, and I'm trying to save time to talk about what I need to talk about. So let me get into it. Let me show you this stuff. Here's tools that I have. A wrap, and then a thing, a headband, and then all these different things. Ignore the background stuff. Okay. Let me start off. Dreadhead HQ Lock Peppa. This stuff works really good, but it's crucial that you don't use much. The way that I used it is I would sprinkle a little bit on my palm, and I mean just a little bit, enough to like barely even cover this. Whenever you rub it in, I would usually pour it on the spot that I'm going to be the spot on my hand where I'm going to be using to palm roll. Like in different spots, I palm roll different ways. So if I palm roll like this, I'll put it right here. If I'm palm rolling like this for some reason, or like this, I'll put it in my hands right here and kind of dab it on both sides, and then do that. But I mean, you want to put as little as possible because you're going to feel it. And you can palm roll like 3 dreads or 4 dreads, depending on like if they're my length. I can palm roll 3 after I would put just a little bit on my hands. I can do about 3 dreads. Another good way to use it is if you're pulling in loose hair, sprinkle a little bit on like a plate or something, like on a table, and then you just dab your finger in it. And then when you gather that loose hair at the root or in the body or on the tip, you just kind of rub it on it as you're dread balling it, and then when you pull it into your dread, it's going to stay in there because it's going to grip really well, and that works extremely well. But let me say this too, it's important that you don't use it more than once between washings on any dread. Like applying it anywhere, don't apply it in that same spot again. Okay, next thing, Dreadhead HQ Wax and Dreadhead HQ Dread Butter. Dread Butter I haven't really used too much yet because I'm waiting for them to. They're pretty mature now. They're getting there. They still got a long way to go, I think. But I'm waiting for them to get a little length. And then the wax, it does do what it says it does. It is the way they advertise it is correct, but it's important that you don't use too much. Use it like they tell you to use it. DreadheadHQ.com, and you can watch his videos on YouTube, but they're on his website too. I've conversed with him. He has amazing customer service. Him and Sloan, both of them, all the people that they've sponsored have been extreme helps to me. I don't think that they're trying to scam anyone. All their products, some people might say they're unnecessary, but technically, I mean, I'm going to say this just because it's true, like anything's almost unnecessary with dreads. The only reason that you should use something is if you want to excel that process. And you should know how to use it, and don't use it wrong, or you're going to mess up that process and actually be counterproductive. So use a little bit of the wax. I won't tell you how to use it just because there's videos on it, but use as little as possible. And I only used it once and didn't use it again. Dreadlicious by Dreadhead HQ. It has different vitamins in it and hemp seed oil and stuff like that. It's fragrance, and it's really good after you've done like a maintenance session, maybe the day after you've done it when they're all scratchy. Spray it on, maybe not too much of your roots, although it's not a big deal if you do, but hold them and spray it on like that, onto the tips especially, because that's where they get the driest, and it's just really good for keeping them moist, and it smells excellent, really, really good. But only use that once in between washings too, especially if you're washing once every 3 to 4 days. Dreadhead HQ soap, by far the best soap. I dilute it down like quite a bit, and it still lathers up really well. Like I have an Ozarka bottle that I've shown you in my video. I'll put like, if the bottle's this big, I'll put this much of the stuff in it, of the soap, and then put the rest water, poke a hole in the top, squirt it where it needs to go, and it just works really well. It's the best soap, and I've used probably 10 soaps. I've used Dr. Bronner's, I've used all this other stuff I'm going to show you. The next thing is Naughty Boy liquid soap, and I really like this too because it has the oils, I think it's peppermint, tea tree, and rosemary. Peppermint, rosemary, and tea tree, yeah, and those do different things. If you want to know what those do, you can look and just type in those oils and dreadlocks. Blank oil and dreadlocks in Google, and I'll tell you what they do. It works really good. It just doesn't lather up too well because they don't have SLS in it, which is good because it's a chemical, so you kind of want to avoid chemicals, but it still works really well. and I love the tingle feeling it gets too. But apparently the new Dreadhead HQ soap, the organic, does that as well. But if you are using anything other than Dreadhead HQ, I would say that you need to still have that to maybe once a month wash with that to get all the oils that might have built up. I'm not saying you have build up, but just to be safe, if you care about your hair as much as I do, as kind of gay as that sounds, it's important that you get all that stuff out just in case there is something in there. Use that, or yeah. This is a mixture I made of Dr. Bronner's and just water, and it works good. It lathers up well. I used seriously like this much Dr. Bronner's, probably, if that, and the rest is all water. And that leaves buildup because it's a castle soap and it has super fats in it and stuff like that. But I diluted it down an extreme amount, and I use that in a pinch because I really like the peppermint oil that it leaves, and it makes your scalp real tingly. This stuff, I love the smell. Neutrogena shampoo. Works really good. People get tricked though because it says anti-residue, which means it's meant to strip the residue from your hair, but it still does leave some residue in your hair. So if you're in a pinch, you can use that. I dilute that down big time too because it is a really thick, as in viscosity, it's really thick, and that works really. But it does get your dreads clean, and it smells good, which does mean that there is residue in it. So if you're going to use that, use it in a pinch, dilute it down. I dilute everything down just because you can, and it saves you money. So. And then if you're going to use that, next time you wash, or next couple times, wash out with Dreadhead HQ. Unless you, or another soap like baking soda. I can't use it here because our water sucks. So anyway, biotin, I get the 5,000 micrograms, which I believe is 5 milligrams. I don't know, 5,000 micrograms. I take one every day just because the longer you take it, the more your body will begin to absorb. So the longer, say if you've been taking it one day, you won't absorb too much into your system. If I've studied correctly, but the longer you take it, 3-4 months, it starts to work really well, and I definitely have noticed a difference. Even before I dreaded my hair, I took that and it started working really quickly. Let me see how long this video is. Okay, 7 minutes so far. Okay, actually I do need to show you this stuff. Here's these tools, and I'll start off with this one, just a typical Hobby Lobby style crochet hook. It's kind of blurry, but anyway, this is a 0.75. You're not going to be able to see that. But anyway, 0.75, and it just feels really like, it's just not a very good crochet hook. Obviously, it wasn't made for dreads, but needless to say, it's just not very good. It feels like it pops a lot of hairs when it goes in and out. It doesn't grab that many. The hook is actually kind of sideways, whereas it goes, instead of going like this and then over, it kind of comes towards, like, the hook goes like this and kind of comes down but over a little bit. It's kind of weird. I think it's just a messed up one, but still. This is by Clover, and this is a 0.6 crochet hook, and it comes with a little cover thing that slides off to keep it from stabbing whatever. This one works. This is probably my favorite crochet hook that's aside from one made specifically for dreads, and it works extremely well. It's not sharp. Here's the Lock Sculpta from Dreadhead HQ. Forgive the lack of focus. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, and I think it's probably about 0.5, 0.6. It works really well. It just seems a little sharp and a little harsh sometimes, so you got to really know how to use that if you're going to use that. This is one I found. It was actually called a thread pick. I was looking for crochet hook just randomly in a place. I think I was in, I don't remember, some random hobby store, like a crazy place somewhere random. And it works kind of well, but it's really, I feel like where the hook, this part, say this is the crochet hook, this part, the tip of this actual part right here that I'm pointing to with my thumb is really sharp, so when it's coming back through, it's kind of harsh. So I don't really use that one that much. I don't use this one that much, nor this one, but I use these two. This is the loose hair tool by Dreadhead HQ. It's really cool. You can unscrew the bottom and put lock pepper in it. This right here, there's a seam. I don't know if you can see it, the difference in the black shades. It works really well for holding lock pepper. I just haven't put any in there recently. But anyway, it's pretty big though. The only thing about this, the loose hair tool, is that it's really big. So it will work. This is just really big. If you can imagine if your dreads are really tight and mature, or starting to mature, and you're sticking this in between those knots that are really tight and just really formed really close to each other, and you go in there to separate those knots, more than likely you're going to break those knots apart, and it's going to rip the hair, if that makes sense. So hence they just came out with a new loose hair tool, which is actually a lot smaller. I haven't gotten it yet, but one of my friends said it works really well. And but you can still use this one. It doesn't do really that much damage. It works really well, especially if your dreads are somewhat new, or if you're using it closer to the roots, because the dreads closer to the root, within probably the first 3 inches of dread, aren't going to be that tight. So it goes in there really nicely, and it's really good. And it has this long neck, so if you have to feed it really far up the dread. I pulled one dread into another with this. It worked really well. This is something I just got in, and it is my favorite thing, probably my favorite dread tool so far. It's probably a lot like the new Dreadhead HQ small loose hair tool, but anyway, you can't even hardly see this. It's seriously these small. That's the latch, and if you can see, like, here's my finger, and there's a little thing. It's so small, it's like ridiculous, and I love it. It's awesome, and I like the fact that it's not round tipped or sharp pointed tipped on the end, because when you're shoving it through the dread, this one would work better for tight dreads, mature dreads. And so whenever you're shoving it through, since it's not pointed on the tip, it's not going to just go right, like try and stab through the first thing it finds. It's going to, because it's round, it's going to find something that's loose, and it's going to work its way through those loose spots. And then you can grab that hair and then pull it back in. I'm not going to show you how to use it, but it works really well. It's from drlocks.com. drlocks.com, and it is amazing. That's what I've been, like I told you guys after my 9-month update, I'm only going to be using stuff like this now, no more of this stuff. And I use this today just to pull in any loose hair I might have had, and it works excellently. And since I've been using these, I'll go in more depth on my 10-month update. I've hardly had to do any touch-ups. I've touched up once and not had to do anything. So, okay, on to wraps. Headbands. If you start off with your dreads short, this stuff works really good. Let me put this back up here. I've gone through tons and tons of headbands. Some give you headaches, some are too wide, some are too skinny, some are stupid. I bought this in a pack. I don't actually wear the purple one usually, but I can't find the black one that I wear. But this is Goody, I think the brand is Goody Ouchless. I remember for sure it's Ouchless or whatever. But it works really good because it can easily stretch really wide, and even when it's stretched pretty wide, there's barely any tension pulling back. So when it's wrapped around your head all day long, headbands can give you a headache, but this has never given me. I can literally not even feel it on my head. The only fact that I know it's on is because my hair is obviously pulled back. This is a Buff Headwear, so you can type in Buff, B-U-F-F on Google, Headwear. It'll come up. You can type it in Google, and they have excellent videos that show you like 3,000 ways to wear this thing. And it's seamless. It has no, I won't do their video over and tell you everything they'll tell you, but it doesn't give you a headache. It only stretches one way outwards like this. When it's on your head, you can wear it tons of ways. But what I used to do when my dreads were shorter, now I have too much hair to do this, is I would flip it inside out type thing. It doesn't really matter because no one's going to see you. Flip it inside out. Do this thing, make it into a beanie, how they tell you in that video, if you watch the video. Kind of twist it, throw it over, and I would wear this on my dreads, and since it's real stretchy, it doesn't give you a headache, but it would keep your dreads compact, tight to your head, which, while you sleep, I'm talking about while you sleep, which helps you prevent frizzies and works really well with keeping like all that pressure, not pressure, but keeping them tight, and it compresses them and helps them a lot quicker. So pretty sure we're about to run over, so that's my video over products. If I find any more, I'll make another video. Hope this helps.